Hello and welcome to We Express Sports. We are back after a long time, and today we are here to discuss about Chelsea Football Club. And to discuss that with me is a massive Chelsea Football Club fan and maybe a slightly disappointed right now, Vishwaraj Johan. And great to have you, Vishwaraj, over here. I know the mood
Thank you
must be
so
a little
much.
dim right now. I'm assuming with the sacking of the club legend Frank Lampard.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's bumming. There's no other word for it. It's bumming.
You're going with bumming. Okay. And just so you guys know who is watching this, Vishwaraj made a brilliant video about expected goals. It's there on our Instagram channel. So if you want to know a bit more about expected goals, go ahead and watch this. He has explained it in brilliant detail. Just a cheap plugin, but itna to banta hi hai. Now, Vishwaraj, I'm gonna take talk a bit about Frank Lampard, not too much because जो हो चुका है वो हो चुका है उसके बारे में ज्यादा नहीं but still as a Chelsea fan and he was not just a manager for you, he's just also a club legend, and in his first season he got the team to the Champions League spot. There were massive investments. It looked like they're gonna back him for the long term. Results were not going really well for the past couple of months, but were you really expecting the club, to sack Frank Lampard?
No, not really. जब मैट लॉ का ट्वीट देखा कि ही इज गोइंग टू बी सैक्ड टुडे एंड फॉर चेल्सी कनेक्शंस मैट लॉ इज लाइक 100% tier 1 source. और जब वो देखा तो the entire fan base including me were really shocked कि भाई this is out of the blue. क्योंकि नॉर्मली आपको
Correct,
जब एक सैकिंग के बारे में बात करते हो जैसे बिल्ड अप टू इट, और बिल्डअप
correct,
कुछ था
correct.
ही नहीं, अचानक सीधा सैकिंग का आ गया. And last season was one of those seasons जिसमें a lot of fans could connect with the club once again. एंटोनियो कॉन्टे के साथ प्रॉब्लम्स हुए थे, सारी के साथ प्रॉब्लम्स हुए थे. सो लास्ट सीजन के साथ जब लैम्पार्ड आया था तो a lot of fans could connect with the club. A proper Chelsea guy was back in the dugout. And this is not only Frank Lampard, this is about Joe Edwards and Jody Morris as well. So
Okay,
a lot of connection was there. तो वो firing जब हुआ तो it was really a big shock for a lot of people.
okay. Like you said, a big shock and big shock for everyone else in the football community as well. Like even me, as a football fan, never really expected Frank Lampard, especially because of the kind of backing that they gave him, in the transfer window, the kind of players that were brought in. It was surprising, but then again, it's the Chelsea board. They have been known for doing this. We didn't really expected Frank to go through this, but what's happened has happened, and we wish Frank Lampard all the very best in his future endeavors, and we hope we see him soon in the Premier League, and we just wish Frank Lampard all the very best in his
All the
future,
best, yes.
and that's all we can hope. But moving forward, आगे बढ़ना पड़ता है. There's this name of a brilliant German manager, Thomas Tuchel, going around. It's not confirmed as of yet, but it's looking most likely that he's going to be taking the seat. Uh, Thomas Tuchel uh, was a Augsburg manager, reserve team manager, went to Mainz, similar to Jurgen Klopp, and then similar to Jurgen Klopp, went to Borussia Dortmund, spent quite a few years over there, then went on to Paris Saint-Germain, and took them almost to winning the Champions League trophy. He has quite the CV, if we look at him, the clubs that he has managed, he has quite the CV for himself, and he's generally known for his tactical style of play and the knowledge of his game. So, first impression, Thomas Tuchel being linked, most likely is going to be official. First reaction about Thomas Tuchel, according to you?
Almost the best choice available.
Almost the best choice.
Almost the best choice. क्योंकि ideally speaking, I was along the same lines as the board. कि अगर if you have the chance to get Pochettino, you get Pochettino. But
Okay.
that didn't materialize. And the second option that I had was, if you're going for a German manager at the moment with the focus of youth that we are going to have, we are supposedly on having, तो Ralph Ragnick made a lot of sense. But
Okay.
eventually जो भी न्यूज़ पता चली है उसे पता चला कि Ralph Ragnick was offered the job but he turned it down, and then the next option was Tuchel. So I'm of course on the fence because it's Lampard who's been sacked, तो वो scene तो है. But from his coaching profile, yes, I am happy with the selection. His playing style is something that we are looking to build since quite some time. ये Diego de position की जो style जो Roman Abramovich का sometimes है, influence करने के try कर रहा है. You see it with Sarri, you see it with Lampard's first season. So it's along the same line of thought. So that way it's fine. But he has a history of clashing with people above them, and we have a
Exactly,
toxic board.
exactly.
We have a toxic board, and that's the problem. I mean, you are literally mixing, petrol and fire together, and let's see what happens. It's
So
a good thing.
before we go ahead and yeah, continue, Raj.
No, please get.
So before we go ahead and talk about tactics and about his, work at Dortmund PSG, like you really mentioned that he had a toxic relationship with the previous owners, and the Chelsea board is somewhat, not the most, forgiving ones. So do you think this is like the most ideal match right now for the club to bring in someone like a manager of Thomas Tuchel experience?
That's an interesting question because the way I see it is simply a mismatch when it comes to the temperaments.
Correct.
You tried to go it with Sari, who was known to be not at all temperamental when it comes to the boards and the
Correct.
transfer signings and everything, and he had trouble. You had Antonio Conte, who was a fantastic coach, but who was a pathetic man manager and who couldn't handle the board. So the board has experience with all kind of coaches. The question remains is whether the coaches that they are bringing in have the experience with the kind of board that Chelsea are. So at the moment,
Correct.
I'm not sure whether it's going to be a good deal. But the good thing is it's a short term deal. It's an 18th-month deal. So before things can go really bad, I think the deal might get over.
Well, the time will tell. Now let's go ahead and talk about the man who's going to be, taking the reins. A bit more about his football knowledge and how he has operated at his previous clubs. Talking about, we'll take first of all Borussia Dortmund. He took over from Klopp. He generally played a system of 4-1-4-1 and went on to PSG. Most likely he was playing 4-3-3, his most preferred formation with the likes of Neymar and Mbappe, the kind of attacking talents that he had over there. So looking at the way that he used to set up at Dortmund and PSG, and at PSG he always used to, kind of tinker a bit as well. He was the one thing that I've seen, he's always flexible. He's not, one that I'm going to stick with this. If the match suggests I'm going to tinker around, maybe play three at the back. Looking at what he brings to the side, for Chelsea, uh, and the kind of pro players that Chelsea have. Do you expect something similar from Dortmund or from something similar from PSG, or is he going to try something out of the ball for the short duration deal that he has over here?
The one thing about Thomas Tuchel is that he is one who is not married to a system like Sari was, and who is
Yeah,
not hell bent on fixing round holes in square brackets. So square pegs and round holes. तो वो सीन नहीं है उसका. He is someone who will adjust to the squad. And yes, अभी उसकी history देखो तो आपको लगता है कि 4-3-3 is his preferred formation with one deeper midfielder. But he has
correct.
switched to a back three quite often, as you said, in his PSG time. And currently, the way I see it, I expect him to switch to a back three the moment he gets his stamp on the squad. Not against Wolves. Wolves will be too early, but probably
Correct.
1 or 2 weeks into his session, into his coaching time, I think he'll move to a back three because the midfielders that we have, including the maximizing of Kai Havertz and Timo Werner, a 3-4-3 makes
Correct.
the most sense.
Okay. One player that he might, would be very one, or else I should say two players, Thiago Silva and Christian Pulisic, who he has managed previously at Dortmund at PSG. Do you think that's something that's going to help him, coming in at the club, to settle a bit more early? Because Christian Pulisic was quite good under Thomas Tuchel, and he has kind of dipped over the past couple of months. He was hitting peak form after the lockdown. So do you think Thomas Tuchel coming in would really going to help Christian Pulisic flourish?
The thing with Christian Pulisic was when he made his breakthrough for Dortmund, he was playing on the right wing, and
Correct.
then they signed Ousmane Dembele, and so he had to
Yeah.
shift to the left wing. And while
Yeah.
Dembele was flourishing there, Pulisic had a tough time while acclimatizing to a change in wing. And then when he got accustomed to the left wing, he moved to Chelsea and he cemented himself at the left wing. The problem is at this moment we have a better winger in Callum Hudson-Odoi on the left wing.
Okay.
And on the right wing, we have a question mark whether we have a ZH type player who's a left footer as an inside inverted winger, or you want someone who is like a dribbler and a progressor in Pulisic. So I'm really on the fence when it comes to how Pulisic will feature. But yeah, he'll feature a lot because he's a top player. There's no doubt about it.
Okay.
In a down form, but he's still a good player. So he will feature. But going by the form profile, I think he'll be on the bench immediately, and then we'll see him come back.
Now we have talked about the tactics at Dortmund and PSG, but the one thing that was different is that wasn't coming in at Dortmund and PSG in between the season. He was hired way before, so he had his time. He could get his personnel over here. He could use the transfer window really well. At Chelsea, that's not the case. They have already made massive investments in Kai Havertz and Timo Werner, Edward Mundy. Speaking of, the three that I can remember, Hakim Ziyech, another one. He does not have that. He has a set squad. They have made investments. Now he has to do with these kind of players. Now you see the teams at Dortmund, you see the teams at PSG. Do you look at this Chelsea squad and look at some particular players where you feel like, okay, you know what, these players are going to struggle and these players might not just make the cut under Thomas Tuchel? Are there any players that you look for?
I think this move is really going to be beneficial for Callum Hudson-Odoi.
Okay.
The way he plays is, he wants freedom in the final third, which is something Thomas Tuchel is very keen to provide, along with a set of instructions which every player has to follow. Then you have certain. I think it's going to benefit Anthony Rudiger as well, because
Okay.
not because of the nationality part. It's not that shallow, but he has pace. At the end of
Okay.
the day, Antonio Rudiger has pace, and if you're going to play a high line under Thomas Tuchel, you need recovery speed. So that's what's going to be beneficial for Rudiger. Yeah,
Just a follow-up question on that. But if you bring in someone like a Rudiger, like you said, he's beneficial. Uh, Zuma and Silva have been the most, preferred pair, and they have done well in a short space of time where they have been doing. Do you really want to break something that has done well and bring in someone like a Rudiger who hasn't played that many matches? Will that be a smart move?
the way I see it, I expect him to play back three when he comes on. So
Okay.
you expect Thiago Silva to be the central deepest midfielder, so that he can be protected by Zuma's aerial ability and Rudiger's pace, with Chilwell and James as the wing backs. So this
Okay.
is what I see him doing, and this is what I see, in my opinion, is what is the best formation for the squad. So, and if you see Rudiger coming in, it will be the case where Thiago Silva is not going to play 2 matches a week, as in this is in the season. And the fourth choice centre
Absolutely.
back, yeah, and the fourth choice centre back, we have a huge problem. Christensen is frankly not very good, and the other options are Xavi Mbuemba, who is coming back from a long-term injury. We have Fikayo Tomori, who's been loaned out. So if
Okay.
I had to choose between Rudiger and Christensen, it had to be Rudiger. So I
Okay.
mean, Zuma Thiago Silva is the preferred pairing, but Thiago Silva can't play every game. So yeah,
Now we're talking about Chelsea, we're talking about tactics, and it would be, criminal if we don't talk about Chelsea strikers. And Thomas Tuchel, he had someone like an Aubameyang at Borussia Dortmund. He had the likes of Neymar, Cavani, Mbappe, brilliant players. Uh, Currently, Timo Werner not in the best of his form. Tammy Abraham is doing really well. Olivier Giroud, we just don't know what to expect from Giroud. He's just gonna come and bang those goals. You know, of those three, who do you think is most likely going to prefer up front? In his initial first few games.
has to be Tammy Abraham.
Okay.
It has to be
Uh,
Abraham. Yeah,
no, no, go ahead, go ahead.
yeah. So from the form profile, it makes sense to go with Tammy Abraham. And Tammy Abraham, if you look at his numbers, when you take off strikers under 24, there are only 2 or 3 people ahead of him. There's Kylian Mbappe and Erling Haaland.
I
Otherwise, you
like
have Lautaro Martinez and Tammy Abraham in the same bracket.
okay,
Performance wise, and there are different strikers profile wise, of course, but when you look at the numbers, they are in the same bracket. So yes, you have one of the
okay.
best young strikers in the world. You know,
Mhm.
yes, he is a different profile of a striker, as in that he will really mature at 26, 27, and that's when you will see his best performances. But you cannot underestimate the talent that this guy has. And Olivier Giroud has showed earlier that he can be a very good impact substitute. Excuse me, sorry. That he
Yeah.
can be a very good impact substitute. and Timo Werner has always required a focal point in his game. So
Okay.
if he has a focal point in either Giroud or Tammy Abraham, he can cut in and he can find himself a space to move in and then attack. So I see Tammy Abraham starting, and I see Timo Werner complementing him.
That would be something to watch out because the Timo Werner has, like you said, a focal point similar to where he did well for Leipzig. He had a focal point at Leipzig as well. So if he does have a focal point, maybe things will start going well for him. But the time will tell. But going on from football and tactics, there has been rumors about in the club their internal battles, players not really getting on board with Lampard. So there will be some kind of a struggle. It would be a challenge on Thomas Tuchel's hands to get that the entire team together right now. Now he has managed bigger players with big egos. One of the best players in the world in Neymar. He has managed someone like Aubameyang and developed him in a big striker. We have seen him manage big players. Do you expect him, to come in and get that team together? Do you think he'll be able to do it here as well?
Not in these 6 months, because it's a
Okay.
very bloated squad. It's a very bloated squad. It is a squad. Until very recently, we had 5 center backs. We had 3 left backs, 2 right backs, and the one place where you need depth in central midfield, that was very shallow. So it's a very imbalanced squad. Until you go and shift about players and going about square pegs in round holes or something like that, which Tuchel is not going to do, or he doesn't have the temperament to do. I mean, he can do that. He's played Marquinhos in midfield and holding midfield and defense, but that was a different scenario in PSG. But I don't expect him to get everyone together in the short frame. But if we can
Yeah.
get at least 1 or 2 people to uh, loaned out, we've got Drinkwater out, we've got Tomori loaned out. Maybe if one of the 2 left backs who are not in the first choice bubble can be moved up, if
Okay.
then maybe it's gonna be easier for him. But otherwise, it's gonna be difficult. And the bigger problem that he has is he has a world record signing goalkeeper as a backup.
Exactly.
So that's something that is a board mistake. But then the last 3 managers have lost their jobs due to board mistakes, essentially speaking. And this is
Kepa
becoming,
has outlasted the two managers, so that is
yes,
something to talk about over there.
it's a
But
big thing
again,
to
yeah,
talk
like I
about.
said, yeah,
Yeah, before Frank Lampard came in, there was a talk of Brazilian and Spanish contingents in the dressing room, who are the controlling voices. And while the Brazilian contingent was successfully broken down by Lampard, with Luis and Willian leading the club, the Spanish
yeah,
contingent remains. And probably the only guy who is proper Chelsea when it comes to Spanish contingent is Cesar Azpilicueta. So then
exactly.
the names that are left are very obvious, but there we go. There are 2 big problems, and then we have reports coming over that there were certain problems between the players that Lampard had ostracized, including Fikayo Tomori, Antonio Rudiger, Kepa Arrizabalaga, and all. So that's a big problem. It's not a victory for those players, but it's a loss for the club. So then, how does a man like Tuchel come in and give everyone a clean sheet, a blank slate in the middle of the season, and then go
Yeah,
ahead? It's something which is very going to be very interesting to see.
it's gonna be a challenge. That's fairly, and considering that he has a short deal, so he must also be thinking how much effort should he put in. Is the board really gonna back him, for the long term? So that's always going to be there at the back of his head. But he's a professional, so we'll be expecting he to do a very thorough job. Now, as a Chelsea fan right now at this stage, Thomas Tuchel comes in. He had a 74.8% win record, the highest in League One. As a Chelsea fan, he has a 18-month deal, like you mentioned. But for the next 6 months, for this season specifically, what are your expectations from Thomas Tuchel, and Chelsea right now at this stage?
Well, we have a very difficult assignment in the Champions League when it comes to the cups when I talk about. So let's just say that if we
Yeah.
qualifies, and we haven't been able to go into the quarterfinals in the past 5 years. So a Champions League quarterfinal run, let's just say an FA Cup semi-final, quarterfinal run, and anything beyond that would be a bonus, and top 4.
Okay. The top four in Champions League
Top 4
quarterfinal
is a must. Top 4 is going
things.
to be the primary objective.
Okay. Well, let's see how things turn out. But uh, that's it from us. That was a brilliant talk with you, Vishnu Raj. Thank
Thank
you
you so
very much
much.
for spending time and talk about Chelsea Football Club. We'll see how things went on, and we'll probably have more of this discussion going forward with you if we have time. But again, thank you very much for having this discussion with us, and let's see what Thomas Tuchel brings to us because it's exciting for the Premier League as well to have another top manager in the league. And let's see how the league unfolds. But that's it from us. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you soon
Thank
again.
you for
Thanks a
having
lot.
me. Thank you.
It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure to have you. Thanks a lot. And that's it from V Express Sports.